In 2009, my Aunt Barbara made a difference in one little boy's life, but she had no idea how much she would impact her and her husband Wally as well. Barbara Grego has worked as a dental assistant, putting braces on teenagers for several years, but she needed a change from her monotonous lifestyle. She wanted to better the lives of others.
I have no children in my life, and I wanted to be a force in some child's life. So I decided that Make-A-Wish was what I wanted to do, to be involved with kids.
Barb got in touch with Deb Nichols, the Director of Program Services for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Greater Pittsburgh and Southern West Virginia. Deb has been with the foundation for 11 years, overseeing the whole wish process.
Our goal is to grant the wish of every eligible child between the ages of 2.5 and 18 who has a life-threatening medical condition. We consider life-threatening conditions like cancer, cystic fibrosis, heart conditions, pre- and post-transplants, sickle cell anemia, anything that's life-threatening as opposed to a chronic condition.
Deb says that anyone 21 years or older can become a WISH volunteer.
You can call me. You can apply on our website. We have a website at www.greaterwishpa.org. It gives more information about volunteering. We use volunteers in a variety of ways. They can be wish granters, they can help with fundraising, they can help see kids off at the airport, they can help in the office. And you can apply online or just give a call to the office. I will tell you though that we are very blessed. In certain areas of our territory we have more volunteers than we need, so we have a waiting list at this time.
Okay. In order for children to become eligible for a wish, they must be referred by someone.
Well, someone needs to refer the child to us. We don't go out and solicit them. They need to come to us, but they can be referred to us by a doctor, a social worker, family member. It can be the child themselves or a parent, a guardian, sibling, grandparent, aunt, uncle. We do have wish families refer other wish families to us, so we're pretty well known in this area, but we're always spreading the word to make sure everybody knows about us. And once a child gets referred to us, then we're more than happy to start the process and see if they will qualify.
Now, this was dedicated in 2001, and what the Wall of Wishes is a listing, a visual representation of every wish we've done since we've started. So our chapter was founded in 1983, and each panel lists the wish child's first name, their age, their hometown, and what their wish is. Brian was our very first wish kid, and he wanted to go to Texas to get a piggyback ride from his favorite uncle. So literally just a group of people got together and put their credit cards on the table and made that wish happen, and that's how our chapter here was born.
My Aunt Barbara granted the wishes of 2 children before she met one 7-year-old boy who would alter her entire life. About an hour away from Barb's home in Greene County, Pennsylvania, lived Zane Tennant with his grandparents Tracy and Ernie Walters. For being so young, it's hard to imagine all that little Zane has been through.
Zane never really knew his father. His father wasn't in his life very long, and I just don't want everybody to think that she's bad, because she's really not bad, because when she was a mommy, she was a good mommy. For 3 years she was a good mommy. Mm-hmm. Drugs got a hold of her, and they just never let go. So in order for Zane to have a good life, whatever, his mommy decided that he would be better here. He hears from her. Not too often, but when he does, he's real happy to hear from her. Zane was actually 3 weeks old, and we went to his appointment, his 3-week appointment, and he was very, very yellow. So they sent us, Dr. Church sent us to Children's, and that's when everything come back. His, what they call bilirubin level was out of this world, sky high. So they put him on medicine, and he still takes medicine twice a day. And then they found what they thought was a heart murmur. And then actually he had to have a stent put in September of 07. But his liver, it's called hepatic fibrosis. They say due to non-alcohol. Isn't that crazy? But, wow. Yeah. But he does pretty good as long as he takes his medicine.
Zane may need a liver transplant later on in his life, but for right now, his medicines are working, and he's doing very well. One day in 2009, Tracy got a phone call that forever changed her and Zane's lives.
His heart doctor at Children's referred him, and I got a phone call, and I actually thought it was like not for real. You know, who, small town people, you know what I mean? We've heard of it, but who would have ever thought they'd call us? And they did, and they called back for like next couple days and set us up with an appointment.
Barb was chosen as Zane's Make-A-Wish volunteer.
Barbara actually called us when she had got the paperwork through Make-A-Wish and said, this is hard to, I'm Barbara Grego, I'm a volunteer with Make-A-Wish, and we need to set up a day and a time when I can come down and visit you and talk about what we're going to do and meet Zane. And so we did, and she came down, and well, we met her at the door. Do you remember this, Zane? We met her at the door, and she showed us her tag, and she said she was Barbara Grego from the Make-A-Wish, and we invited her in, and I don't know, there was a lot of love. She brought a lot of love through the door, didn't she say? She's just an awesome, awesome person. But she said, here was Zane, and she said, well, can you draw me a picture of what you think Disney is? Well, he sat and drew. This was in 09, and he drew some people on a paper or whatever, and he even drew her. And he said, because you get to go with us down at, don't you? And she was like, no, I don't get to go with you. And she asked who he would like to take, and of course he said me and Pappy.
He was a very shy child when I met him, and wouldn't speak to me, wouldn't talk to me when I first met him, so I honestly don't know why we connected. There's always 2 volunteers that go on the Wish, and Zane and I, when I went to meet Zane and his family, Zane and I sat and played cards and talked, and I think that connection was made at that time.
Deb explains how Barb and Zane were paired up with each other.
And usually it's just availability, who kind of lives near that child and who's available.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation books the flights, there's a village down there that they stay in, and basically I just I seen him off at the airport. I got him gifts to go to Disney World with. I got him a backpack and a bunch of stuff in the backpack to enjoy his trip at Disney World. And then I met them when they came home from Disney World to complete his wish. So basically, I only seen Zane maybe 2 times before he went away. And those 2 times we just, we connected.
She met us at the airport, and of course we all cried because Zane wanted her to go, and he just couldn't understand, well, you're giving this to me and you can't go with me. But we said our see you in a week, you know, because I don't like to say goodbyes are hard. So we said, well, we'll see you in a week, and we kept in touch while we were down there.
And the village is full of all sorts of wonderful amenities for the kids and their families. It's a mini resort all on its own. So this is the merry-go-round, shaped like a giant toadstool. There's a water park. There's a railroad. They have putt-putt golf. They have an ice cream parlor that's open all day long. They have horseback riding and fishing, and they have parties every day, and it's just a really, really wonderful place. And families many times will tell us they feel very connected when they stay at Give Kids the World, because every family has something in common. They have a sick child, and they're dealing with the challenges that can bring. The resort is very used to dealing with kids with special needs and children who have medical needs. So, for example, the swimming pool is a 0 entry. So if a child is in a wheelchair, they can wheel right into the pool.
And then when he came home from his wish, he called me and wanted me to come down and see his videos and see his pictures from his wish. So ever since that time, we connected.
It's just been a blessing since the day she walked in the house. Mm-hmm. And because she really took to Zane. And there's a special, very special bond between them. Not only Barbara, but okay. Because he had a really hard time. He didn't want Barbara to get, involved with a sick child because he was afraid. And he brought a lot of good out in them too. Well, your whole family. Cousins are also good to me.
Come on, buddy.
Ever since that day, Zane visits Barb and Wally almost every other weekend.
What's that? So that's the last time for that one.
We've taken him to his first hockey game. He goes out to Duke's farm.
Hey, tell him who you met last night.
Yeah, tell him who you met.
You did. You go to the game. We were supposed to go, but we didn't go.
It's a long game.
We got the gun in the locker room and everything.
Oh, really?
In the angry room.
Angry room.
Tell him what that is.
Punches and smashes chairs.
Oh, really?
Loves being outside, shooting guns. Whatever's going on in the community, we'll take him to. He doesn't have his grandmother doesn't drive, so he is basically at home a lot of times. So we, take him out to eat, take him to church, take him around our families. So he gets a little bit of everything.
Baby, 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 alright. Do you know who sings that, Brittany?
He sings that.
Justin Bieber?
You like Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Sing the other one.
Did he hurt you?
No. I don't know that song anymore.
Don't you?
No,
What's your favorite song? Sing it for me.
all the other kids Put the phones up, get you better, longer, faster than a bullet.
I would hope that Wally and I have been a good influence in his life. We've introduced him to our family life, that everybody has accepted him and love him like he is ours. So I hope he remembers that. You know, kids are, I know there's one day that he's going to be a teenager and he's going to say, I don't want to come anymore, and that's fine. But I just hope that we've instilled love and some discipline, and I hope we've given him good memories.
Because not only does he try to do better for me and Pappy, but it's always, do you think, as he says, Big Wall will be proud of me, and he calls Barbara Sweetie, that's his sweetie. Do you think they would be proud of me?
Mistletoe. Under the mistletoe.
Right there.
What?
They always are. They call him and ask him how his day is. You know, have a good night. And what do they always say before they hang up? What's Barbara always say to you?
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Not only has Barb impacted Zane's life, but he has done even more for her that makes it all work.
Zane is the love of my life. So not ever having known children from very young, it's amazing when you hear his voice on the phone, what it can do to you, and it's amazing when you fall asleep at night and you feel his little arm wrap around you, or when you wake up in the morning. It's heaven.
Deb says most volunteers don't maintain a relationship with their wish child, but they're more than welcome to.
It varies tremendously. What we tell volunteers is that it's totally up to them. Some families just want us to be in there for a short period of time, helping to grant the child's wish, and then be out of their lives. And that's not always a bad thing. I mean, sometimes a wish kind of reminds them of a challenging time or a difficult time in their life, so they don't want to bring up that memory by maintaining a relationship. But if the family wishes to maintain a relationship and the volunteer wishes to do that, they're more than welcome to do that.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation has fulfilled more than 12,000 wishes to date and is always looking for volunteers. Barb and Zane have filled each other's hearts with a friendship that will never be forgotten. No matter what happens in life, the greatest thing to cherish are our friends. All you need is love.